So if you're planning to get or just got the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i and want to use it like a pro, here are 4 useful tips and tricks that you should not miss. Now in my previous video, I've covered everything that you need to know about this Lenovo Yoga Book 9i as a whole. So definitely check that video out before watching this video. But if you watch this video first, well, you can watch this and then watch that later. Now in that video, I've also covered different modes that you can use in this particular laptop. But as a quick recap, this Lenovo Yoga Book 9i is powered by Intel's 13th generation i7 processor, 16GB of LPDDR5X RAM, 1TB of storage, and as you can see, 2 gorgeous 13.3-inch OLED screens. And based on my usage, not only I really like the 13th generation Intel processors for the all-around performance, but I still managed to get a very good battery life on this very unique laptop. Now this of course did not really surprise me, since it's an Intel Evo certified laptop that has been through countless testings to meet Intel's strict requirements. Now this also means that it is Intel Unison, which to really simplify, it allows you to connect your phone, Android or even iOS devices with this laptop for a more seamless and integrated experience. For example, doing things like file transfers between devices, replying your phone text, using the laptop or even picking up calls. Tip 1. Keyboard and trackpad. Okay, let's get started with these 8 fingers. Press all the 8 fingers down on the bottom of the laptop screen to activate the on-screen keyboard and trackpad. Then pressing the X button on the top right-hand corner will close the keyboard. Now besides the X key, here are the settings for the keyboard to change the transparency, how strong the vibration is when you press any key, or whether you want a sound to come out when typing. Then down at the bottom half is the trackpad, which works like any other trackpad. But if you look at the far left, there's an arrow key which you can press and the grey box disappears. Magic. But honestly, this is a great function where now the whole bottom half is a trackpad. Now this is probably the biggest trackpad that you have ever seen on a laptop. But if you're the type who types and palms touches this area, it is probably best to stick to the box version just to prevent any accidental clicks. But I know what is not accidental is that you click the like and the subscribe button. Thank you very much in advance. Okay, I actually lied. If you really want to see the biggest trackpad on a laptop, press the bottom screen with 3 fingers and the trackpad will magically appear wherever you press. Now you can move it anywhere on the screen if you like, but if you drag this to the bottom right corner, then you drag the top left all the way across. Now the whole bottom screen is a trackpad. Now, I doubt that anyone would need a trackpad this huge, but yeah, it's possible. Then you can see a pencil button on the far right hand side. But we'll talk about this a little later, specifically when we talk about the pen. Now if you don't want a trackpad but instead want to display widgets on the top half of the bottom screen, just drag your 8 fingers down and now the virtual keyboard goes to the bottom half of the screen. Now just make sure that the function is activated in the user center settings. Now here is where you'll find few widgets available like email, calendar, computer performance, weather and news at the moment. But I'm pretty sure that Lenovo will be adding more widgets over here as well, and my wish list is probably include a timer and an alarm clock function. Say for example, I'm going to take a break every 30 minutes and an alarm goes on, especially with my current knee injury situation where I need to, stand up, get down and rest my legs 30 minutes. So that would be something cool, right? But if you don't want to display the widgets and maybe have a small Netflix screen playing down here, just press the icon or the F11 button and it disappears. Then you can drag a mini browser there as a mini display. Now of course, don't forget that you have a physical keyboard too. So put it at the top half and the trackpad will appear below, or at the bottom half to display the widgets. And yes, it will magnetically attach to the screen, so it is secure in place for typing. Tip 2. Gestures. Now a neat trick that you can do is transfer a browser from one screen to another is to flick from the top to the bottom. Just select it with 1 finger and a small box will appear. Then you can just pull to the box and it flicks to the other screen, and you can do this from the bottom screen as well. And if you're reading a super long article and want both screens to display the same browser, use the waterfall mode. With just 5 fingers, tap the browser and you extend to both screens. But say if you want to go back to the home screen easily, just swipe down the screen with 3 fingers to minimize the browser. Flick 3 fingers up so that it appears again. Then if you have multiple screens open, use 3 fingers to swipe left to right to switch between them, or drag from the bottom to see all the screens at once. Tip 3. Digital pen. Now Lenovo has got you covered early on if you plan to use this laptop as a drawing tool. But if you find that the pen is not functioning, try this. Twist the top of the pen and here's where you have a AAA battery which is supposed to sit. Make sure that you have one and it actually works. That's it. Now this pen works really well on this laptop and is pretty smooth and very responsive to use. Now remember the pencil icon that I mentioned earlier? Well, if you press that, then a small notepad will instantly appear. Here's where you can write small notes, doodle an idea, or use the nifty lock screen bookmark button. Now when you press that, you can pin the note to the lock screen to say remind you to share this video to everyone and subscribe to the channel. Yep. Next, you can take a screenshot by dragging from the bottom left corner of the top of the screen, then select whichever portion of the screen that you want to take a screenshot, all while taking handwritten notes. Now here's a quick pro tip, be sure to turn off Windows Edge widget so you don't accidentally click that instead. Then you can also drag from the right bottom corner of the bottom screen to launch the Smart Note function to write notes or even put screenshots inside easily. Now if you're starting to get a little lost and you find it hard for you to keep on going back to the video, don't worry, because you can head on to our website at www.adamlovo.tv to see a written article for all of the tips and tricks shown in this video. Now finally, the most important feature of this laptop is not only the screens but also the user center, which controls all the functions that you can see with these screens. Now over here, there's a bunch of features and settings that you can set for your own personal use. So let's run through the software for you to get a better understanding. Now the dual screen interaction tab lets you view how to best use the screens for different scenarios like for work and study. Now there are even handily mentioned apps that you can use for this particular setup, like the Smart Reader for this study setup. Then the Features tab is where you can find all the tips like I've shown over here, except that I'll be showing you all live. But here is more of a simple infographic style. Then the dual screen settings is where you have all the functions that you can set on or off when you're using your laptop there. Now I could go through all of them over here, but that would make this video 1 hour or even 2 hours long just for this section itself. So drop by our community Discord if you'd like to know a specific function about this laptop that we haven't covered in this video. Then the new features preview is one of the most exciting things for new users, since Lenovo will show all the new stuff that they have implemented in the laptop itself and some upcoming feature, like in this moment they are planning some new themes for the keyboard. Cool stuff. Then FAQ is for those who want to process information better with text, where you can type keywords and search for a specific function that you may be looking for. Then last is the About, where you have all the links for things like the terms and conditions and also the version numbers, so you can check that if you have the latest version with all the latest features already installed, and if you have any updates that you might be missing or any updates that you might have missed, that will be appearing over here. So there you have it, some useful tips and tricks that you could use on the amazing Lenovo Yoga Book 9i. Now I really had a very good time using this device, which I don't feel like I want to give this laptop back since it's a review unit. Now do drop a comment down below on which feature that you like the most. And I'll leave links down below for you to check out this amazing laptop and my previous video over here.